Welcome to the Josh Johnson Show. Josh Johnson, joined by my co-host, fellow stand comedian Logan Nielsen. Logan, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right, man. How are you?
I'm good. I've had to go to the doctor a ton recently. Like
a ton?
Yeah, like a
Is
lot.
it still for your injured movie?
It's been my chest. It's been a couple of things, and it just has reminded me about other times and made me think about other times I've been to the doctor.
Oh God, we've never really talked about this, and I'm sure you have experiences that are going to baffle me.
Yeah, but these
head.
like won't be my fault though. These are because I show up in a doctor's office to be doctored. Like I don't.
Right. Yeah.
I don't have any control over what happens
One doctor,
next.
please.
Yeah. So I was even telling some friends today about how at my old doctor's office. This place was not good. Okay. So the doctor was good. I had a good doctor. I'm not going to sit here and act like I am a good doctor. The staff at the office made it feel like by the time he got to me, I wasn't at the doctor. Does that make sense? Like
you're more at a DMV than a doctor's office.
So this doctor's office that I went to, okay. So when I was in Chicago, right? I'd go to the doctor a couple times. One time I had strep throat. Like it would be stuff that was like not too serious, but still you should go to the doctor, right?
You gotta get some meds. Strep throat, you'll live. You need some antibiotics.
Yeah. And so I remember, I was like insanely sick with strep. That was the worst strep I've ever had. And luckily, my mom also came to Chicago at the time and was like nursing me back to health.
Aww.
But when I went to the doctor, okay, first of all, I get there because I don't know how to pick a doctor. I'm not out here like knowing what doctor's good or if. And then it was at a time where I had good insurance but not great insurance. So then my insurance didn't cover a bunch of people, and it was just it was wild. So I find a doctor that's like within my network or whatever is going to be pretty cheap with the copay. Mm-hmm. I roll up to that doctor, and first of all, from the outside, the place did not scream health. like there's just something about when the bricks coming off the brick building, like when the bricks are chipped hard, it looked like somebody had been carving the bricks. So then I remember
someone's
walking
been trying
in
to get into this hospital.
Yeah, I remember walking in and being like, I'm clearly in the wrong office, but I'll at least ask them where the office is, right? Mm-hmm. And the first question I was asked when I stepped inside and stood at the receptionist's desk was, what?
I don't know. That would also make me kind of feel like this is maybe a really good doctor's office.
Nah, not at all. So then she said, what? And I was like, oh, I'm here for my appointment, right?
Yeah.
And then she says, what appointment? As if no one has an appointment today. Like
right. As if that's not a thing they do there.
Yeah.
That's not a service they provide at this specific doctor's office. No appointments.
I'm not
Walk-ins
even fully
only.
clocking right now that she's being rude. Like, it's not even occurring to me that this person is being insanely rude. Because right now, all that's actually in my head is like, I feel terrible.
Right.
I just want to be seen by somebody that can help me, right? So I'm not even giving any attitude back. I'm genuinely just like, she says, what appointment? And I go, the one at 9:45. like it's not registering with me that she's like attacking me. You know what I mean? Like she, because the what and the what appointment were not friendly.
Yeah.
And so she's like, what appointment? I was like, the one at 9:45. And then she stares at me for a second, and then she just goes, okay.
I don't know. I kind of love her. She's kind of my favorite.
And so then I'm standing there. I'm like, so am I supposed to fill anything out or like? She said yes. It was like, this is insane. Dude, this is a horrible experience. I hope she's never at anybody's deathbed because that would be truly tragic. Am I dying? Yes.
And then you bring the filled form back up, and she's like, "You're still here?"
Yeah, yeah.
What?
I gave you that to get rid of you. And so she gives me the forms. I sit down. I'm filling out the forms.
Yeah.
There's no one else. Like, okay, I genuinely feel like I'm the first person at this doctor. Like, I feel like this is his first day of being a doctor. This is first like day with the office. Like, the team's all here for this day, right? And and so I fill out the papers, and I fill out the papers, I give them back, and then she's like, "You can sit back down because it's gonna be a while." And not even in a way.
You meant 9:45 today?
Yeah, exactly. Because I feel terrible, but I still haven't fully clocked it of like just how terrible this person's being. And so then
because you just want to die.
I feel horrible. So
anyone can say anything to you in that state.
Dude,
and you won't catch it till maybe a week later.
I clearly didn't catch it until 7 years later because we're just now talking about it. When you're sick enough, things don't register like that for you.
No, not at all.
So then she tells me it's going to be a while, and I just, out of like desperation, I just ask her like, "Oh, because it's like 10 now." Because it took me a while to get the forms. Like, she gave me the forms after a couple minutes. Then it took me some time to fill them out. So I was like, "It's 10," and then she was like, "I don't know what you want me to do about that."
Yeah,
I was like, "Jeez, okay." All right. And then she tells me, she just offers it up as extra information. The doctor not here yet. and so I just go sit down, and I've got my hands.
You got a red eye back from Vegas. He's not here yet.
Dude, I have my hands in my head because I'm genuinely like, I'm really scared I'm gonna die, right?
Well, because you probably got a fever. If you got strep, usually that comes with it. So you're probably just sitting there, probably looking like you're dying.
Dude,
and this is still the attitude that she's giving you.
I am like, I look like I make juice right out of my own skin. I'm sweating so much. It's like it. I
that
am
is a sentence
wet.
I don't know what to do with. I don't know what to do with the sentence. I look like I make juice.
I look like I make juice out of my own sweat, and it is ripe season. Okay, dude, I'm pouring sweat. I've never been wetter in my life, right? Like,
you got streams shooting off you like a character crying in an anime.
You could slide me up and down a sidewalk. I have so much sweat. And so I'm just sitting there feeling like horrible. I've got my head in my hands. I'm like kind of ready to cry, but I'm not there, right? And then this guy busts through the doors, like just bust in.
Yeah.
This dude busts in, runs past reception, everything, and it was like startling the way that he ran in. And in my head, I was like, I kind of hope that's not the doctor, because he also had a trench coat on, and the trench coat what's the difference between a trench coat and a duster?
I guess I'm not entirely sure. That's a good question.
Okay, basically, whatever he had made it look like he had a whole coat behind him that was when he was running. So it basically just looked like he had a cape. But this dude busts through the doors, runs to the back of the office, and so I'm sitting there for had to be like 10 more minutes. And then another nurse comes in, right? Into the waiting room, and she's like, "The doctor will see you now." And I go with her. She's like, "Come with me." And I go to the room. There's no doctor in the room, right?
Right.
It's just, I understand the lingo though of like the doctor will see you now, see you soon sort of thing. But then my tech that's like doing all of the vitals and like checks the blood pressure, everything.
Right.
This dude is sick. This dude is sick. All right. I'm feeling terrible. This dude is dying. All right. This man's sick. Because then I get in there, right? And so my man is like sitting there typing. Okay. And he's typing at the keyboard, just like typing away, which anytime they're not asking me anything and I gave them the form and they're still typing, I don't know what that could be for. Because this is my first time at this doctor. So maybe he's starting a file for me, whatever, right? But as he's typing, every time he talks, this man can't stop coughing, right? Oh, God. And this dude coughing hard. Like he coughing from the bottom of his belly, okay?
From the diaphragm.
This dude,
theater training.
This dude is coughing, okay? So he's asking me like questions I've already filled out on the form.
Yeah.
Which I'm trying to not get upset because sometimes that happens and it's so aggravating. Because why did I fill out this form for like 7 pages of this thing as a new patient? And so, he's asking me my birth date again, stuff like that. And some of it he's just confirming. So he must be typing it in.
Right.
And so he's like, birthday, 3/6. Oh! Like the coughs are so long. This dude coughing forever. And then and to the point where I ask him, I'm like, hey, are you all right?
Do you need me to get you something?
Yeah, like are you okay? Because I understand there must be such a dilemma with calling in sick when you work at a doctor's office.
When you work at sick?
Yeah, you work at sick and you're like,
at sick.
I'm too sick to be at sick today.
Oh, really? Oh, did you get sick from working where the sick lives? Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, sure. Take the day. So
then I can understand my man's inclination to have to come in.
Right, yeah.
Because it's like, what are you going to do,
Yeah, exactly.
And so he's coughing hard. And like honestly, the first time I ever thought about droplets was not COVID. The first time I thought about droplets was this moment. Because this man just infected the whole keyboard that he's on. Because he's coughing so quickly, he's not covering his mouth. Okay. So my man is just like,
good. That's a quality you want in a healthcare provider.
He's like, so your weight is 100 and
oh no, God, just take me.
Like the coughs are punches to his stomach. That's what it sounds like. And then he finally has one coughing fit that lasts for a while. like it was to the point where I was like, do I really need to be in here for this? Because he turned his head to cough and did not stop coughing for what it had to be like 2 full minutes. And 2 minutes is not a long time, but when you're coughing, like I thought this dude was dying in front of me.
If it's coughing, 2 minutes is a day.
Yeah.
Like that's a long time. That's a long time to have no control of your body.
And so then this dude rolls up way too close to me and is like, let me get your blood pressure.
Good Lord.
I was like, all right, like I'm reluctantly putting my arm out, right?
You're trying to lean away as far as you can.
Yeah. I'm like leaning away from him as he's like, and this is the worst part. This is like, clearly they don't have all the resources because you know how there's even those cuff machines at like Walgreens, or at least there used to be those cuff machines check your blood pressure.
Right.
This dude this is an old school from the 1800s. Like he put a stethoscope on my pulse and then just wrapped it real hard.
I thought maybe we'd have the thing around it and he has to like blow it up manually.
No,
like,
no. This dude wrapped it.
It's just a floaty.
Yeah, he put a wrap around my arm and wrapped it over and over again too, like he get me ready for drugs.
Yeah,
and then it's just listening, and then he got his watch, and he's just like, oh, and then he go. Then this is the thing that I didn't like that they did. He goes, and like you can't have little noises like that.
No, especially that. It sounds like he was asking a question to your pulse.
Yeah, like he
what's
seems
that?
like he's about to guess what my blood pressure is. You can't finish blood pressure with that's an acquisitive.
I mean, something's pumping. So
yeah. I heard something in
good
there.
For you.
So I already didn't like the nonverbal that he did. And then,
oh God, something lives in your arm.
And then this dude, and this is the wild thing as well. He started to do some stuff that just seems like the doctor should be doing it, right? So sometimes I don't know what the official name is. If it's a tech, I think it's a tech that can take the blood pressure and like fill out the form to get ready for the doctor and stuff. So the doctor
I think
can
it depends. There's techs, there's physicians, assistants. I'm not really.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this dude was. Listen,
I live with a nurse, and she's explained these things to me. I don't remember. I don't remember whose job is what. So
yeah. Okay, so then
all I know is everything she tells me about her day sounds gross.
So then this dude and this is ever since I was little, the doctor did this, but hey, it's this doctor's office. I guess he can rule it how he wants.
Right, yeah.
But then this guy, after he gets done with my blood pressure, grabs a popsicle stick and is like, say ah. And I'm like, this man gonna cough in my mouth. Like I'm not doing it. Like y'all go ahead and kill me. Cause clearly you gonna get me one way or the other. Like
yeah.
Like this dude literally said, say and so I'm like, I'm good. Let me I'll wait. I literally told him, I was like, I'll wait. And he's like, what? I was like, no, I'll wait.
I'll get you next week with the
Yeah, I'll wait for the next. I'll wait for other dude to come through and I'll do the for him.
I'll literally do it for anyone else.
Yeah, I don't just for anybody. All right?
Go get another person in the waiting room. I don't care.
Yeah.
Just, I know you. I'm not going to do it for you.
And so then he's like, oh, okay. Like he's clearly like this has never happened to me before, sort of thing. Like he just like shakes off and he's like, well, can I take your temperature at least? I was like, yeah, it's fine. And then takes my temperature. Clearly, I have a fever because I look like fever. Like there's no way I didn't have a fever. If I didn't have a fever, I'd be like, oh, okay, well then I am Aquaman because no one that doesn't have a fever and a t-shirt on should be sweating this much.
Right? Yeah.
It was the first time I've ever sweat like from my forearm.
Oh yeah.
Like I didn't have sweat running down my arm. I was sweating out of each piece of arm.
It's like remember in the first X-Men movie when that one senator just like dissolves into water?
Yeah.
That's what's happening to you.
And so
how's that for a fucking reference, huh?
I get my temperature taken. Of course, I have a fever. But apparently my fever, I don't remember what it was, but apparently it was so high that he took it out. Because also as well as old school thermometers as well. So
okay.
So then my man takes it out, looks at it, and goes, uh-oh. And then just shakes it while he looking at me after he said, uh-oh. Oh, you dead, all right?
What? I love that you found a doctor's office. You found a doctor's office where not a single person who works there has bedside manner. Like not
crazy.
A single one. Usually maybe one or two, but the fact that every single person in that staff is like, fuck.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if everybody on this staff is the doctor's cousin. Because no one should be hiring them, okay?
Yeah.
These people, like, it on a regular day, I think I would have walked out. Because on a regular day at reception, I would have been like, this is way too rude for me to not know you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then even with this guy, I'm like, hey, I feel the thing you're saying, so you don't need to say it to me. You know what I mean? So this dude, and then he swings the thermometer. Look, this is the thing that, just for comedy, this is the thing that killed me that he did, that he doesn't even realize is as funny as it is.
Yeah.
He looked at it, said started to shake it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Looked at it one more time and went, oof. This dude pulled out my mouth.
Yeah, that's just straight up comedy business right there. That's straight up.
Then he leaves, right? Doctor comes in. Doctor is like is
covered in blood.
It'd be so funny. Doctor, like I thought,
he runs an out of breath sleeve torn.
That doctor, like I thought, runs in, was the guy in the trench coat. Okay,
right.
And then he immediately walks down and sits at his desk, which is where the tech was typed. Like, in my head, I'm like, do I warn him that he about to get infected? Because, like, that dude coughed all over this stuff.
Yeah.
We start talking, and he's like, tell me how you're feeling, everything. And honestly, the actual doctor was like a good doctor. Like, like legitimately, he's like a good, we talked it out. He told me some of the things it could be. He prescribed some antibiotics and like gave.
Well, good.
He was a good doctor.
He's clearly a good guy because he gave his cousin Dave a job after the auto body shop closed. So
yeah. And it's as I'm walking out that I go back to the reception desk. I'm like, so how to, because also you have to remember, I'm in Chicago. I'm very young at the time, and I've only been to the doctor a couple times without my parents,
Right.
Like I don't think in all the time I was in college, I went to the college nurse a couple times, but I don't think I ever went to a doctor the entire 4 years that I was in college. I could be wrong, but I don't remember going to a doctor. So outside of being in high school and being like at the doctor with my mom when my mom would set my checkup, and then being in college where you could go to the college nurse.
Right.
But like I would also, you're so young when you're in college too, you just let stuff roll off of you.
Yeah. Or, into your 30s too.
Sure. And
I've been to the doctor probably a shockingly low number of times.
Yeah, like I realized in that moment as I'm walking out that this is like, because basically the doctor was like, she'll sort you out at reception when it comes to the prescription and all stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Like where to pick it up, I mean. So then I get up to the front desk and I'm realizing that this is one of, if not the first times that I'm settling all this on my own at the tail end of it,
Yeah.
And so I walk up and I think I have my insurance card with me. I was like super prepared because I just didn't know what would happen if you weren't. Like I didn't know if they would like, like
you
when
brought your passport,
like like when you can't, that old trope from sitcoms where you can't pay for dinner, so they make you wash dishes in the back.
Yeah.
A part of me was like, if you don't have your insurance card, maybe they just take the health back that they gave you.
Maybe that's how those people ended up working there.
Yeah, they didn't bring their insurance card.
They had no interest in going into medicine.
Hey, we're going to need you to check some tongues if you don't have your money, all right?
Yeah, he had come in that morning because he was very sick but couldn't pay his bill.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, you're handling the next guy then.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
And so then I'm going up to the desk again, and the woman... the woman is not happy to see me. I just look like I got a question, you know. She's immediately upset.
Here you come with your face again.
Mm-hmm. And so basically I walk up and I'm like, so is there like what do I owe you, sort of thing. I'm trying to be like jolly about it still, because I find that even with rude people, you win them over eventually if you just don't break.
Yeah. If you stand firm in being cordial.
Yeah. Eventually
they'll soften at least.
Yeah, there's a tenseness that you can see lift off with a lot of people. That's not everybody. Some people are evil.
Some people are evil, and they won't necessarily be like nice, but they'll be less mad at you.
Yeah. And so then I asked, like, what do I owe you? And she was like, I don't know. And now that I'm not dying, now that I know that, okay, this is strep, and like I'm gonna get antibiotics, and I've had strep before, so I'll feel better all because of all that stuff. Now I like, as far as a mood, I really can't be touched now, because like now I don't have the desperation of thinking I'm dying, but I also don't have the I guess like the fear enough to be distracted.
Yeah, and so you dodged your mouth getting coughed in, so you're feeling good. You're feeling like the day's coming up, Joshy.
I'm actually optimistic now. So now she really can't touch me. And I was like, oh, well, if you don't know, maybe it's all the house. Like just a little joke in there, right? And she was like, that's not how this works.
It gets to a point where you just want to be like, ma'am, what is your job here?
Yeah.
Why are you here at all?
Ma'am, you should just fight the next person you see, because it would be way quicker than what we're doing right now.
Yeah. Everyone would know the deal at least.
Yeah. So then
how do I sign in? Well, first you got to go fight that lady, and then someone will come get you.
So then she looks up the closest pharmacy next to me, make sure that that's where I can pick up my prescription. And she's like, we'll have to let you know about the bill and everything. You got to check with your insurance. This is like a thing that I found funny. I don't even know if they're like allowed to ask this, but this is like her last thing as I'm walking out, right? Like this is like her last jab, okay? Is like, I was telling her, oh, this is where I live, so this is the pharmacy closest to me and everything. She's like, okay, I'll send it there. And then I was like, so for the bill, and she's like, we're gonna have to check with your insurance, okay? Do you have good insurance? And then I said that I was like, oh, I don't know. And then she was like, well, if you don't know. I was like, okay, wow.
Was this like an ex-girlfriend of yours and you didn't recognize her? Like,
it was crazy, man. It was like
so mad at you.
It was one of those things where I was almost like, I hope she doesn't have the power, and I don't think she does, but I hope she doesn't have the power to poison my drugs. Like,
right.
But yeah, no, it was a busted. And then also the waiting room in this doctor's office had too many lights out. Like,
yeah,
like when I sat down, I'm not saying I don't love fluorescent light, so I'm not even saying that there can't be a little mood lighting. I'm not saying that it has to be completely blasted with fluorescent bulbs. Yeah. All I am saying is that if you're going to have them, have all of them, just as an option.
Yeah.
Because there were some that were clearly out.
Right. Because there's having some lights turned off, but then there's noticing when lights don't work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if no one's got the time to change a bulb.
Yeah.
They're going to be pretty willy-nilly with that needle.
Jeez.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Oh, no, but it was terrible. Luckily, I healed up.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Mm-hmm. I mean, the emotional scars never healed, but the strep went away.
Yeah, the strep went away.
but the receptionist left a mark on your insides.
I did actually forget about them for a long time, so I guess it did kind of heal. I forgot it happened, but yeah. No, I've been going to the doctor a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm just over here doing my best, trying to stay healthy and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you, I mean, not to get into your medical history, but like how often you go into the doctor? You just there quite a bit?
I mean, I haven't even been keeping track, but I feel like at least I could be wrong about this because LA broke it up quite a bit because I didn't obviously go to the doctor when I was in LA.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
But before I went to LA, and since I've been back from LA, which has not been long, I think I've been. It's starting to feel like once a week.
Jeez.
Yeah. And it's like, sometimes it's a checkup on the last thing and sometimes it's a different thing. Like, I mean, who knows? You might end up wanting to cut this, but I had to get a sonogram today.
Okay.
And so the sonogram was just to make absolutely positively sure that my balls are normal. All right. So just to make positive.
Let's get into this.
Well, basically, there's not very much to tell, but basically, when they were doing it in my head, I was like, man, this is like the worst time to find out if something's wrong. Like literally your pants are down, you know?
You'd hope they'd let you get yourself right before they drop the bomb.
Yeah, and I'm like, they're
just gonna look down at your balls and be like, yeah, those are busted.
I'm genuinely laying back, and you know the person who's operating the sonogram is like, I'm so tense because I'm trying to be still. Because when I had to have my MRI, they were like really stressing, hey, you have to be completely still or we have to restart. And I didn't know if the sonogram was the same. So I'm trying to like be so still that I'm tense in the face. Like I can feel my face tensing up because I'm like, don't move, you idiot. Like just be still.
Don't wiggle your balls.
And it's to the point where I'm like so tense that the person stops and they're like, Are you okay? Like, are you all right? Because are you in pain? Because your whole face is clenched. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm good. I'm all right. I was just like trying to be still for you and everything. I'm trying to help you. And she was like, you don't have to be that still. Like it's fine. Like I moved the thing, so I'm so the first half of it, I'm just like, it's like for basically the first half of the entire thing, I was like rigid still, so just clenched up, and then I relaxed a bit. And I don't know if I guess they take pictures as they go.
Okay.
For the sonogram, because it seemed like there was typing while the tool was moving or whatever, and then I'm like so in my head the entire time. Because when I walked in, I was like, there's nothing wrong with me. But then when you're getting a test done, you start to think, what if something's wrong with me?
Absolutely. When a test is being done, you can convince yourself you have anything.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to find out, that's when. And so you're having the test done.
Yeah, I'm also just like, I'm once again getting really in my head, going every which way with it. It's to the point where genuinely I let my mind race enough through enough scenarios that in my head as I'm laying there, I've already got my affairs in order. Like, I'm like thinking about my funeral, like just like, oh man, I think a lot of people wouldn't make it because like who does destination funerals,
Hey, I'd fly out, man.
but then also it's like
I am gonna say it's a show though. So, I mean, if you get I'm gonna need you to put in the will that I do a eulogy so I can say it's work and I can write off the flight.
Yeah. But these are the things I was thinking about because in my head I was like, all right, look, I'm not actually from New York, so I don't think I want to be buried here. If I'm buried, then I don't think like I would maybe want Chicago, but I'd be taking up space, and there are people who were like born in Chicago. And I don't want to take that from them, but then it would have to be like a Louisiana funeral, which is then like who's gonna fly to my hometown where the airport is only taking in like 4 flights a day, and then you have to make at least one connection, if not 2, to get there, all for a funeral of a guy that was like nice, but like I don't know, and then.
Wow, really middling review for yourself there.
Well, no, I just mean like when you think of a big funeral, you have to have impacted lots of people's lives in a way that's
or just be from a big dumb Catholic family like me.
I guess so, but like
I'll pull in numbers.
You have to have impacted
for sure. Yeah.
So many people that you. What's the best way to put this? It's like even if you impacted like 10,000 people, all 10,000 aren't coming, right? Because there's a flight involved and because of the day of the week. So I'm like, am I gonna be that guy? Am I gonna have a weekend funeral? Am I gonna mess up people's weekend, or should I just have a Monday funeral? Because this is the thing: if you have a Monday funeral, people already sad it's Monday.
Yeah.
So let's just get it and you.
Yeah.
In the same. But then I was like, I don't want to make a Monday worse. So what if I did a Tuesday? Because now, somebody had to go in Monday, but now they might get a whole day off coming to see me.
Right.
So I'm doing a last solid for the people that love me.
Yeah.
And honestly, by the time I'm like midways deep into this scenario of like what I'll do, and like I gotta make sure that everybody's taken care of and everything. By the time I do that stuff, the tech is once again like, are you in pain? Because you're making faces again. And I realized I was like making faces for every scenario of like, it can't be like I'm like I'm squinting, like I can't get buried in Louisiana.
Hey man, you good? You look like you're planning your own funeral.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything good though? Your balls check out?
No, this is the worst part. So then after all that,
oh shit.
She gets done and she's like, okay, like you just have to really check your nonverbals when you work in medicine, because I don't know if these okays are like what she's looking at on the screen or just her day because it's early. Like
that's like it's her job too.
Yeah.
So if you're at your job, you're a little more like, okay, let's look. Yeah.
And so then I'm like, she's like, you're good to go. And, I put my clothes back on and everything. And I was like, should I throw this? Because they give you a whole setup for it. And I was like, should I throw this away? And she's like, no, you're good to go. You're good to go. And then she goes and sits back down at the computer that she was on for the sonogram. And then she's like, just typing away. And I grabbed the door handle. And as I'm about to walk out, I'm like, hey, I was just wondering, because, I was here the whole time and everything. Do I look like normal, or like, is anything bad or anything? And she was like, I really can't comment. I'm not the radiologist. So.
Yeah.
And I was like, fair enough. So to answer your question, I still don't know yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So hopefully this won't be some sad foreshadowing.
No. I think I'm all right. That would be wild to get a sorry about your balls, King. That would be chaos. That would be horrible.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good. That wouldn't be good.
Yeah.
Oh man. You made me think of one thing though from doctor's office, because I was like, I've had anything weird happen at the doctor's, and just like little things, nothing too big. But there was one that I wasn't here for this, but it was about me weirdly. It was after, this is years ago, but I had done a show like in kind of the area of my hometown. A lot of people came out and whatever, and a friend had texted me, a former student actually had texted me, and said that there was two old people talking about my show in the lobby, and just one of them just said, "I'll never pay money to see him again." And I was like, damn, okay. What a brutal review from an old man waiting in a doctor's office. That's what's on his mind, is how little he liked my set.
That is truly wild.
Isn't that awful? Isn't that fucking awful?
That like that's one of those things that is actually like out of a sitcom. Because when you think about it, it would be like if for whatever reason your friend knew two grave diggers, and they were digging graves on like a Monday, and they were talking about the show, and he was like, made me wish I was here. Like, just, it's one of those things where you're like, wait, why would they?
When he just texted me out of the blue, I'm like, thanks. Why would you tell me this?
Yeah.
Cool.
No, people truly have no idea what they should and shouldn't tell you sometimes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know? Like, even when it comes to medical stuff, I've had people tell me way too much when I just ask them if they were okay. Like, if I know someone went to the doctor and I ask them, you know, are you all right and everything?
Right, yeah.
I've had people tell me, like, they told me like I was their second opinion.
Yeah.
They went into so much depth that by the end I was like, I think sound like you have it. All right. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not a doctor, but you sat up here telling me all that stuff. So I would eat better.
Yeah. Like, I had a doctor start telling me what meds his wife was on. And I'm like, I don't feel like you should be telling me any of this.
Yeah. Yeah, people really let the doctor-patient privilege slip way more than attorney-client privilege.
Yeah, but especially, I don't know if it goes the other way though. Like,
what
him telling me meds his wife's on. Like, I'm not beholden to any doctor-patient confidentiality.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, lawyers are very aware at all times. Like, oh, if I tell this person about this thing, I could lose my job. And I feel like, even I have friends who became doctors, and they'll tell me stories where I'm like, oof, I don't know if I should know this part.
Yeah. That doctor did end up losing his license to prescribe medicine. So that does all check out, I think.
My favorite. One second.
Oh, I think we froze for a second there.
Yeah.
I see it.
That was genuinely a computer thing because my entire computer freaked out. So that was not.
Oh, okay.
I think that was not just a connection thing.
Well, we've also been having connection lags because we actually had someone from like the internet company in the area show up the other day and just say that like some of the main lines, not even on our house, but some like the main like fiber wire or whatever has been partially eaten by squirrels. So
yeah,
Iowa internet, baby.
I hope they were electrocuted.
I hope so. Oh God.
One of my favorites was this doctor that my friend goes to that's ancient. Like, this dude's been a doctor since like bloodletting. Like,
he was a doctor so long ago he was also the barber.
Yeah. This dude was a doctor when they had those little crow's masks they would wear during the plague. This dude has he's his doctor, but he also has an arch nemesis.
Oh,
so you will go to your doctor. You will go to this guy who's your doctor, and he will be looking all up in your ear with the tool, right? With the light, looking at your ear, complaining about the doctor across the street.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I like this. This I'm into.
But it goes so deep. Like every time he goes to him, he has a story, and every ailment triggers a memory about a time about a time he was at odds with that doctor across the street.
Oh, I bet they opened up practice together and then had a big falling out.
It really does seem like some Aaron Burr, Alexander Hamilton type stuff, where it's like, oh, he gonna shoot him.
Oh, I like that. I like rival anything across the street is always just very fun, no matter what, because it's always petty. It's always just so petty.
Yeah.
Any businesses that are across the streets and their rivals, but doctors is even better.
This dude
because
hates
they
him.
shouldn't be. It's like when you're trying to examine someone and be I guess a comforting ear for any ailments. You can't be fired up and pissed off about the outside.
Yeah. Yeah, this dude, okay. So my buddy told me that there was this one time that he went to him just for like a general checkup, and he's like an ear, nose, and throat doctor. And I guess he's like a general practitioner. I have no idea. Like, I don't actually understand medicine, so I'm not gonna label anything, because I know that even your doctor that you go to for like everything that refers you to the other doctors will still check your ear, nose, and throat. So maybe that's not all he does. But he had the popsicle stick in my buddy's mouth, right? Mm-hmm. And as he's looking with the light, so he's looking and he's got the popsicle stick, he's got the light. He's like, I saw you the other day. I saw you, walking across the street. You kept walking, but I was scared you were gonna go in. And he said, when he said, I was scared you're gonna go in, apparently he put the popsicle stick a little further down his throat.
Just remember, your life's in my hand.
I was scared you were gonna go in. I was like, is he gonna do? No, but you kept walking. You're a good boy. You kept walking.
But I do know how to alter lab results. Just putting that out there. Putting that out there.
Yeah, it's truly wild. And he apparently, that guy across the street had some like altercation at a conference. So it it runs deep. Like, because he'll be seeing that dude, because I guess that's the same type of doctor. And so he'll be seeing that dude at local conferences. And apparently they had words one time that was not that long ago, because they both old as hell, right? And that's what I really love to see, is old men fight. That's one of life's joys, is when you can watch two old men fight.
Yeah, one of the first things we talked about on this show was your joy of old men fighting.
Especially if it's two old doctors, because that means they're going to know what they broke.
Yeah, they come out with scalpels ready to have a like Jets versus Sharks knife fight.
As soon as they land, they know what's hurt.
Yep.
That dude straight up was like going, and I'll have to ask him some more examples, but he would just talk about him so much. He would talk about him more than he would talk about my friend's health.
What was going on? Yeah. Yes, my focus as a practitioner is vengeance.
Yeah. This dude said to him, this doesn't even make any sense because he's an adult, so he wasn't even going to get one. But he was like, there's some type of lollipop that he swears he was giving out to kids first. And then that guy saw him giving out those lollipops, so that he started buying those lollipops. And just the one-upmanship of, essentially, it's like if a Dunkin' Donuts was across from a Starbucks and they just had beef about like, that's our tactic, that's our sale, that's our coffee, whatever.
Yeah,
that's what it feels like with the doctor. I don't even know if the other doctor has a problem with him.
Yeah, it'd be great if that other doctor like doesn't remember him. He's like, oh yeah, from across the street. Oh yeah, you son of a bitch.
That dude across the street talking about, we went to school together.
Yeah. Good guy. Good, just
Good guy.
Full of laughs. Just a fun guy to be around.
A funny story. When we was in school, my wife dated him for a little while. You find out that's what it is. You find out that's what started it.
But a great guy, great practitioner. Honestly, a great second opinion. You go right over there.
You go right over there. He's got the good lollipops, you know.
He's got the good ones. I don't know where he gets them. I remembered something that when I was at an eye appointment, and this is a short one, but this eye doctor I had for a little while, kind of big guy. I think he said he grew up on a farm, just like kind of a big, just kind of like generally kind of burly almost guy. But he would really get, way up on you looking in your eyes. And there was one point where he really slid up, and there's no polite way to put this, but his balls were resting on my leg. Like I felt them, like on either side of my shin was a testicle, and like he just really like was up on me, and I'm like, this is clearly too comfortable. You feel that, right? You have to feel that.
You have to know that this is happening.
You have to know. I can feel it. I can feel both of them. Come on now.
The favorite thing that I think I've, just for the suspense of it, that I've had a friend go through was when we were younger. One of my friends had to get his his appendix taken out, and met the surgeon beforehand. Just like a little I don't know, introduction, because he was nervous and everything.
Right.
And so met the surgeon maybe a week before the actual procedure was going to take place. Because it wasn't I can't remember why they did it, because it wasn't like it was going to burst and they had to take it out or, whatever. It wasn't like some emergency surgery. It was literally like it kept getting inflamed or something. And so they were like, we'd rather take it out than have you have trouble down the road,
Right, yeah.
There was just something with it where it just kept getting inflamed. Anyway, said all that to say, he meets the surgeon. Surgeon walks into the office where he's waiting. As soon as he walks in, the surgeon falls hard. Okay.
Oh God.
This dude falls so hard and caught some of the desk on the way down. And so he gets up. And he's holding his nose, trying to act like nothing happened, trying to act like, oh, sorry about that, But I'm pretty sure this dude broke his nose.
Oh, froze. Oh, there we go. Squirrels.
I'm pretty sure this dude broke his nose, right?
Oh, no.
And so he gets up holding his nose, but trying to continue the conversation like he's not in pain, okay? And then goes to sit down, almost misses the chair on the way to sit down. Sits down, is talking it out with him, talking about what they're going to do, holding his nose the whole time. So now he's like, you don't have to worry. The recovery time isn't that long. Hand in nose the whole time, right?
Bro, just come back.
Then
just go and come back.
And then he thinks it's going to be a halfway decent idea, whatever, right? To show him it's not the real thing, because that would have been insane, but it's like an animated cartoon of what happens, right? So it's not crude at all. It's not like something that's it's like to put him at ease, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, he has two remotes and he cannot figure out which remote is going to make the TV play the video.
Guy.
And if my buddy was nervous before surgery, that kid went into surgery like, I'm going to die because this is the clumsiest man I've ever seen. This dude broke his nose when we met. My life is in his very clumsy hands.
Yeah, that's at the very least you're getting a little bit of his nose blood in you.
That was crazy. And then, obviously he had the surgery
wild.
and he's fine. But like leading up to it, because he was telling us, he was like, I'm very nervous. And we were like, oh, I've heard of other kids. And he's like, you don't understand. And then he told us a story. And I was like,
right.
Ooh, yeah, you might want to. You might just want to have a lawyer on retainer because you're going to be maimed.
Yeah. To be clumsy and then to not even be able to properly put on the cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. You're going home with a watch in your abdomen at the least. At the least.
Man, my right side feels so heavy.
Just keep feeling this little like tick going. Come on.
Yeah. Oof.
A little rhythm inside me. I don't know.
Yeah, every time I lay on my side, I feel like I'm really sinking into the bed.
I do have real quick the difference between a duster and a trench coat.
All right, hit us.
Because I looked it up. It actually gave me a nice little chart, weirdly. But basically, dusters are longer. They tend to go down longer. Trench coats tend to go to like just below the knee. Dusters longer. Duster coat is usually lightweight, full-length coat without buttons. Trench coat is long, loose, double-breasted coat with a belt.
Okay.
So literally the little belt is part of it. Dusters are meant to be worn open. Trench coats meant to be closed. So that's where dusters, that's why they're cowboy stuff. They're meant to have a little swagger to you.
Yeah.
And dusters usually don't have buttons, belts, and pockets. Trench coats have all of the above. So there you go. That's Logan's research corner. That's a new segment before the mailbag.
I mean, I'm glad we got it. I'm glad we know now. I don't want the people listening to go out into the world ignorant, embarrassing themselves.
Yeah, that's the thing. We raised a question, and we intended on answering it. We got to it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you got to listen to the whole show. You never know what questions we'll answer at the end. That's where the knowledge is. That's where it all comes together.
That's where all the juice is.
That's where all the juice is. Speaking of the mailbag that I mentioned, should we open that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. How about we do some reviews from Apple Podcasts? We haven't checked in there in a second. How's that sound?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. This first one here, this is bear in mind, this is a 5-star review from Apple Podcasts. This is from username Nastius, which I love. Sounds like the Greek god of nasty. It's the Greek god of stank, Nastius. But 5-star review. The title is Meh. And it says, I honestly couldn't get into it. I'm on my second run through of the available episodes, and I just can't stop laughing. The two guys hosting could have a bit more of that ShamWow attitude. I'm not really sure what any of that means, if I'm honest.
I'll take it.
I'll take it.
I think on the second run through, maybe we're not for everybody. I think if you listen to all of it and then you listen to all of it again, that's the only way to find out if we're really your people.
Now, how do we harness some more of that ShamWow energy? What do you think is missing from the show that's not ShamWow enough?
I think cocaine.
You think cocaine?
Yeah.
You think
I think cocaine changes the vibe of any show.
Yeah. Okay. 2023. That's the year we do it on cocaine. See what changes. Let's see what's next. This one here is from Fuvdtvh, Fuvdtvh. The title is Hilarious, and it just says, the stories. My God, the stories are priceless. Josh is such a great storyteller, and Logan's laughter is contagious. So hilarious. 5 stars. Thank you for that one. This is from Still Ginger, and the title is The Best Bromance, Hands Down. Josh, would you say we have a bromance? Would you say that? Would you say that on record?
What did the reviewer say?
Okay, he'll answer off mic. Their dynamic is everything. This is one of my comfort shows and helps me to wind down before bed, as well as from panic attacks. They're so ridiculous and lovely, and they're very similar to my friends, if I'm honest. It feels very personable, which I think is the charm. Thank you for that, and I'm glad we help.
Yeah, me too.
If I have panic attacks, I know they suck. I'm glad we can help bring you down from them. And then this one here, this is from Tiger Food, and the title is Listen to Them All. It says, first of all, I'm very thankful to have found this podcast after listening to Josh's stand-up for years, parentheses, although still crossing my fingers to see a show in person. Check our websites. But Josh's stand-up for years to find Logan. Logan is my later life me, and Josh seems to live the life I used to lead. Okay. I'm the old one. Yin and Yang Gang. Oh, I like that. I have found myself spellbound and laughing with you every step of the way. Looking forward to getting on that Patreon and giving more of that support. Thank you so much for that review, Tiger Food, and thank you to everyone.
Yeah, thank you, Tiger Food. Thank you, everybody, for real. This is it's just great to know people are enjoying the show because we've been doing it for a while now, and the fact that I don't know, it's just nice that you can put something out there, and then even if it's later, people can find it and really love it.
Yeah, I think that's where, because we have a good group of kind of day ones and diehards who we've gotten to know a little bit, but it's fun when you get reviews like that from people who are finding it now and reaching out, and it means the world to us. So thank you.
Thanks so much for listening to the Josh Johnson Show. We had a great time recording. I hope you had a great time listening. If you are looking to catch up with us on any of the socials, you can find me at Josh Johnson Comedy on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, where we're going to be posting clips of the show. I'm also on Twitter at Josh Johnson. And if you still use Facebook, it's Josh J Comedy. But if you're looking for Logan,
you can follow me on Instagram at Logan M. Nielsen. And if you want to get in the mailbag, like some of those people there's two ways to do it. You can either email us, joshjohnsonshow@gmail.com, or you can leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts there, because not only do we appreciate it and we love reading them, it actually helps our visibility on the platform. So we greatly appreciate it. And one of those reviews mentioned our Patreon, patreon.com/Josh Johnson Show. We have a bunch of bonus stuff there. We have bonus podcasts. We have bonus video stuff. We have live show replays. And also we have some live shows coming up that the two of us are on next week, actually, right? As this comes out, we'll be in Sacramento. Mm-hmm. That's next week, right? The
6th through the 8th.
6th through the 8th.
Sacramento Punchline,
and then at the end of the month, we are going to be in Richmond, Virginia together. I'm sure you have stuff in between that. Do you want to pitch that, or just go to your website?
No, go to the website. You can get the tickets in the show link under this, or the link in my bio on any of the socials.
Yeah. And we put all of our Linktree stuff in the episode bios, too, so that will take you to all the stuff we have, whether it's albums or podcasts or whatever.
Have a great rest of the week into the weekend, everybody, for real. And get your checkup, We want everybody to be good out here.
You got to go get checked up. And if you work at a doctor's office, be a little nice.
I think that everywhere I've been except that one place was very good.
That's true.
That's true.
All right, hey, mostly everyone out there, you're doing great. Couple of you, boo.
Yeah. Really one lady, because that dude couldn't help he's sick. You know what I mean? That's just on her.
Denver, Colorado, make some noise for Josh Johnson.
When you travel a lot, there are things that happen that are sometimes simply unfair. And I mean past the regular stuff, past a delayed flight or anything. Years ago, I had a flight to Boulder, and I was coming from Chicago, and I had a window seat. And The man next to me was eating a whole rotisserie chicken. And when I say whole rotisserie chicken, I want you to understand, you know when you go to the grocery store and you see with the bubble, it was that. This wasn't just some chicken, it was a whole chicken. And there's nothing like when you meet somebody and they start out nice and then they betray you, right? Because we had a very cordial conversation initially, a very I'm not crazy conversation, then he switched up on me, right? They say that not all heroes wear capes. And apparently not all terrorists have bombs. Because the way it started is basically my man was in the middle seat. And you always have to be nice to the person in the middle seat. Because if they're in the middle seat, their life is not going well right now, okay? Because this is the thing with the middle seat that people disregard. Whatever happened to you while you traveling also happened to them, right? Maybe you were delayed. Maybe your flight got canceled. Maybe you had to spend the night in the airport. All that happened to them too, and they're in the middle seat. So they're still having a worse day than you can imagine, right? And so I'm always nice to the person in the middle seat. So, you know, we both sit down and everything, and then we look at each other, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? I feel like I'm a pretty cordial person, very approachable and everything. So I'm like, hey, how you doing? I'd love to strike up a conversation and stuff. And he's like, oh, I'm great. And in retrospect, he was great because he knew what he was about to do. And then we just started chatting, right? He was like, why are you flying the boat? I'm like, oh, I'm going to do a show. Why are you flying the boat? He's like, oh, I'm going on business. I was like, he must love his business. Like, well, little did I know he was going to do the devil's business, right? And so we are barely diagonal. We're basically one wheel off the ground when he decides it's his time to shine, right? And so this man reaches under the seat. He kept it under the seat because he wanted people to think it was a carry-on, right? So he pulled this chicken from under the seat. I had no idea what it was because it was just in a bag, right? So he pulls this from under the seat, and he really pulled because I guess it got stuck, so he really pulled it, right? And then he pulls up and he lifts it. And this man is bigger than me. And anytime somebody is bigger than me and making me nervous, I go through scenarios in my head of what could happen next, right? So then he pulls this bag up and he lifts the bag. Now the bag the chicken was hot, right? So the chicken was hot, so there'd been some condensation around the actual shell of the rotisserie chicken. So the bag was clinging to the chicken, so I can't tell what it is. All I know is it's heavy and wet, right? So I look over at the bag, and it's got a little bit of steam coming out of it, and I'm like, that's why he was nice to everybody, because he got a bomb, right? And so then he grabs it from the bottom and starts peeling the bag off of the chicken, and I'm like, oh, okay. I wish it was a bomb. I think a bomb would have been easier for me to manage right now. This is actually going to be more upsetting than a bomb. I can already tell, right? And so this is my other thing, too. How did this man get this past TSA? Because there's an organization specifically designed to stop this sort of thing from happening. How did he get this on? Because they took my water. I can't have my water, but apparently he can have 12 ounces of chicken juice. So then he holding it up, right? And I'm not gonna lie to you, even when we were just chatting and stuff like that, I thought he smelled like chicken when I met him. And I felt crazy because I was like, who just smells this much like chicken? I've never been around anybody before who and when I say he smelled like chicken, he smelled like he was the chicken, right? Like he smelled like he had just danced out the oven just now, right? Like he had chicken cologne, right? And so then he's got the bag, and usually I'm a very like live and let live type person, right? Just let everybody do their thing as long as it's not harming anybody, right? And I don't like when things are like exclusion just for the sake of being exclusive, just for the sake of other people not being able to have it, right? Like we made it this price so some people can't come. We made it this price and what. But I will say, I do like, we need to keep planes plane prices, because when planes are bus prices, bus behavior comes to planes. Because when he revealed a whole rotisserie chicken out of this bag, I was like, what in the Greyhound megabus is happening right now? This is not behavior for the air, right? And so then he lays the chicken down on the tray table, and I've never seen this before, because I guess it was a big enough chicken that the tray table actually had some give to it. And I've taken naps on the tray table and haven't bent it back like that. That's an FAA unregulated amount of chicken. And so and I'm not gonna lie, as soon as I saw the chicken, as soon as I saw him put it on a tray table, I tried to dissociate right there. I was trying to go somewhere else. I was like, ooh, I was trying to be anywhere else but right here, because I even put on my noise canceling headphones and just tried to pick a movie and just not be a part of what was happening right now, right? But okay, I've got them on, right? I picked the movie, and I am trying to watch Moana, okay? But all I can hear is the sound of him eating chicken. Babies can't get in here. Like, and when I tell you, this is how you can tell it was like premeditated too, because this chicken was still very, very hot, which means he got it right before the flight. That means he went to Albertsons and got a full rotisserie chicken, then was like, well, I have a flight. I don't think that's what happened. I think actually he was on his way to the airport, and he was like, I'm making good time. I got that pre-check. Let me make a stop by Albertsons on the way, pick up a snack, right? And so this man does not have a fork, because a fork would have got him caught, right? He just has the chicken on the tray table, and he is eating it with his hands like he is Henry VIII. And we are at a royal banquet dinner where the queen just gave birth, right? He really ripping into the chicken while picking his movie, right? Just fingers, right? And so in my head, I'm like, what do I do? Because somehow this isn't illegal. See, that's a problem with our lawmakers, right? Our lawmakers write the laws after stuff happened. They're not thinking ahead to things that should never happen and writing a law for that. And likewise, with the airlines, they don't come up with the rules ahead of time. They wait for crazy stuff to happen, then they change the rules. But they should have sent it in your ticket, in your confirmation email for your ticket. They should have been like, hey, also, please don't bring any chicken from home, all right? We have all the chicken you need. The airport got you, okay? Because I don't remember this exactly, and maybe I'm not being fair, but I'm pretty sure the airport we were leaving from had a Popeyes. So he had access to chicken, but he wanted his own chicken, right? He was like, oh, they do it all apart and stuff. Let me get the whole thing. And so then I'm like, I don't know what to do. And so all right. I'm not proud of it. And I want to be clear, I didn't do this right away, right? Because even when he pulled out chicken, put it on the tray table, we are here. Like, he acted quickly. But by the time I did what I did, he had got down to the bone, okay? So he had a little bit of breast, a little bit of wing, a little bit of thigh. He had a good amount of his chicken. It looked like a crow had got to it by the time I did what I did, okay? But basically, I was like, I can't do this. I can hear it. I can't stop hearing it, right? And so I just pretended to fall asleep, right? Waited a little while. Even gave a couple, right? Because if you do the pig snores, people think it's a deep sleep, right? And so I pretended to sleep. And like, this is my thing. You probably experienced this. When you have somebody, maybe you're dating somebody and they sleep over for the first time and you see what type of sleeper they are, right? Because some people are like little squealers. Some people, some people are snorers, like, right? Some people are thrashers. I've been thrashed many times in my life. Actually, it is weird. You ever be sitting there laid up with your partner and then they thrash you and you're like, was weird that your fist was closed. Like, but anyway, I'm pretending to sleep, right? I even hit him with the right, and then just after a while, I wait a little longer, and then I'm like, and then I had to like open one eye a little bit to make sure I really got the chicken, right? Because I didn't want to miss, because you're gonna get another chance, right? Like, if you miss that first time, he start protecting the chicken and everything. So, you know, I opened my eye a little bit and I cleaned that chicken. Like, I Tiger Woods that chicken. So then the chicken flies off the tray table across the man in the aisle seat, right? I forgot to mention, there was someone else who witnessed this entire thing. I'm actually very interested in what his perspective was, because he didn't have headphones on, so he heard him eating the chicken in his ear. And I'm telling you right now, if it was bad for me, it was horrible for him, because the sound of a grown man eating a rotisserie chicken with his hands does sound exactly like a dog eating a person. It's just as horrific. The sound will never go away, right? I can hear it right now, right? And so then chicken shoots across him. It hits the tray table not the tray table, the armrest of the other aisle seat, and then it hits the ground, where I think it had some bounce to it because it still was mostly intact, so it was gonna move like a chicken would move, right? Now I gotta keep my eyes closed again because I'm supposed to be asleep for this, right? But I do hear a muffled scream through my headphones, and I don't know what it was, because once again my eyes are closed. So I don't know. This is what I think happened. We were, as a plane, we were making a little bit of a turn. We were at a little bit of an angle, right? So we weren't still ascending, but we were like dipped a little bit like this. So I think that the chicken hit in the aisle, rolled back a little bit, must have rolled into a new person's aisle, right? And so then it rolled into their aisle, and they looked down, and all of a sudden they got their foot in a chicken, right? And that, because it wasn't a scream like, it was a scream like, and that's... And that's, I mean, any one of us would do that. If you were just on a plane and you were minding your own business, all of a sudden your foot was in a chicken with the bones in it. Like, Your foot is in it, and it's not coming off. It's a shoe now, so it's not coming off, right? We'd all be like, And so then I hear him through my headphones. He's like, what the hell? Like he screams, what the hell, right? And so then I gotta pretend to wake up. So I'm like, oh. Oh, what happened? Right? He's like, dude, you knocked over my whole meal, right? He's like yelling. I'm like, oh no, did I? I'm sorry. Can I get you another one? He's like, no, that's the only one I had. I was like, oh, can I buy you something else? He's like, no, I don't want anything. Just watch the. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry. My bad. And then I did just have to sit next to that dude on the plane for the rest of the trip. I've never had anyone shoot me dirtier looks than this. He was just looking at me the rest of the flight like... I wish I had a bomb. We're really in it now, you know? We're really in it now. We have Kamala running, right? You want to know the wildest thing about Kamala running is I saw her first like 2 campaign events, right? And just to have somebody talking regular. Like truly just talking regular. I was like, she might as well have been breakdancing. The way she went up there and said thank you and was remembering names and stuff, she might as well have been hitting that. Like, yeah, it's wild. You know, because some people say that, you know, they don't see Kamala as president, but I see Kamala as president because I thought she already was president, right? And what I mean is, when Biden dropped out, I got a notification on my phone, and the notification on my phone was from a news outlet who worded the news very poorly in the headline, because I was at home and all I saw was Biden's gone, Kamala's in. And gone is you gotta use gone very carefully when you talk about Joe Biden. You can't just be out here saying gone willy-nilly, right? And so when they said gone, I was like, oh, that was the COVID he got. Like he got the real one then. If he gone, oh no. And then I realized that he had actually stepped away. He had dropped out, and I was like, "Oh, thank goodness!" Because like this is the thing that now that he's out of the race, I do think it's very important to have an honest conversation about Joe Biden, about his presidency, right? Because this is the thing that people forget about Joe Biden. Joe Biden is a granddaddy, okay? So for a president, he seemed slow. He seemed a bit weak and frail. For a granddaddy, he was killing it. All right? Like, really take a step back for a second and think about the granddad. Think about your granddaddy, right? What's on the agenda in a day for your granddaddy? Really be fair. Really be honest with yourself. What do you expect your granddaddy to do in a day? First thing on the docket is to wake up, hopefully. Second, have some jam. Tell some stories. Yeah, like... watch some westerns, and then there's some naps to get got, right? You don't fly your granddaddy on 13-hour flights and then make him talk to a whole country and then be like, he doesn't seem up to the job. Like... Because Biden was busy just being a granddaddy. Everyone loves to forget that. We went to Biden as a granddaddy, and we were like, hey, we need you to run. And then he was like, are you sure? And we were like, yeah, we think you're the only one that can do it. Please run. And then he ran, and then he won. And then for 3.5 years, nobody did any homework. Nobody did any building up of any other candidates. Nobody did any real research into who was next up. So then, election time comes along. They're like, hey, we need you again. And he was like... I'm more granddaddy now than I was before. They were like, please, Joe, come on, Because that's one thing that I don't know. I look at it and I think that both we and history should remember Biden for doing an incredibly patriotic and courageous thing. That stepping aside is a big deal, right? And I want to, it's something that I hope he always knows that we appreciate. For better or for worse, we appreciate it because, some people wouldn't have done that. Some people would have let their ego get in the way. Some people, because this man told the world, he met with world leaders and told them, guys, I'm running, I'm going to win, it's going to be fine. And then he had to drop out, right? Dropped out on a Sunday in a tweet. On a Sunday with a tweet with COVID. And I'm not gonna lie, maybe I'm not being fair and that's okay, but I was furious at Biden when he got COVID. How dare you get COVID the same week Trump got shot at? Trump got shot at, blood and stuff, and then Biden over here, I was furious. But I really want us, and I think that it's something that I wish more leaders did because in a weird way it did feel for a second like they actually listened. Because we had been saying, we were like, guys, I don't feel great. And then something happened. That almost never happens. This is America. And I think there's like this weird asterisk on his political career and on his legacy now, because then people are like, where does he go from here? He's still president for like 6 months. And we're already like, where does he go from here? Oh, that's so sad. I don't think it's sad at all. I think that Biden has a chance to stamp his legacy now. This dude he's done. He said he's done. He's not coming back. He's not running for anything else. He's towards his twilight years and everything. Like this is it. So he has the chance to do what every politician ever promises that they're gonna do. You gotta remember, when people run for the first time, they're talking all that good stuff, right? When people run for the first time, I'm gonna do this, I don't care, I'm not taking anybody's money, I'm gonna do this, and then they get in, and then they get got, right? Then all of a sudden they're talking like an assistant manager zombie. They're like, well, we have to really look at the votes. What'd they do to you? But that Biden doesn't have that. He has to worry about a second term. He doesn't have to worry about next position. This dude could have the most radical presidency for the rest of the time that he's in office. He has months left to exact some of the craziest change you can imagine because he's never coming back. This is it. This is what people wish our politicians had, right? Because you don't know who somebody is until they put in their 2 weeks. When somebody put those 2 weeks in and they're still professional and you're like, oh, okay, they really a good worker, right? Most people put those 2 weeks in and they're like, 2 weeks, these nuts. Dude, Biden right now has the power to just go ahead and just drop executive orders like mixtapes. This dude could just straight up say, hey, everybody gets free lunch and come and kill me. Right? Free school lunch for kids. Everybody get maternity leave. How about that? You can fight me in court. I won't be there. You can fight me in court. Right? And then you look at, you look at Kamala and what her campaign's going to be like and what the opposition against her is going to be like. And it's already started in some sense, but you can tell that people don't really know how to attack her. Not exactly, right? Like they're going to try the regular stuff, like the racist stuff and all this. She'll get some sexism. Don't worry, she'll get it. She'll get some sexism. But like really attacks, like things that make you go, ooh, I don't know about Kamala, right? They don't know. And you can tell they don't know because okay. I saw this, the one attack I saw against Kamala, this is wild. Okay, let me see. All right. No, I'm just looking around because I feel like, look, I think maybe only the black people will get it first, but I'm going to bring everybody along, right? Because then basically there was an attack on Kamala where they were like, Kamala Harris's great-granddaddy was an Irish slave owner that went to London to oppose abolition. And then every black person I know was like, yeah. Sorta checks out. There's a reason it's her great-granddaddy and her great-grandma wasn't mentioned. And if you know, you know, right? That's what's so crazy to me is that I'm not saying Kamala's the perfect candidate at all. And I, she said herself she's going to have to earn and win your vote and everything, and she plans to do that. But I will say the last time somebody had to go back to the 1800s to attack a candidate was maybe never. That's so crazy. Her great. Yeah. But then you should ask some more questions like, why is that? And then, oh. You know what I mean? Because the only people that caught it are the people who really understand slavery. And that's the thing that's so crazy, is that Republicans are trying so hard to attack Kamala, they may accidentally teach like I thought you burned all the critical race theory books.
Please make a bunch of noise right now for my friend Josh Johnson!
I watch a lot of true crime
documentaries and series and stuff, and I like to watch the ones that, as best as possible, don't involve murder, because genuinely I'll be like, oh, this is wild, but this is also very sad. So I like the ones where it's like a robbery. You know what I mean? I like when it's like a huge drug bust, something you can really sink your teeth into without being like, oh, there is a family to be sad for. You know what I mean? And what I love is the process of when the person is sure they're not going to talk. You know what I mean? They'll bring somebody in, and when the person gets brought in, some people really hang tough. Some people, you know, door slams behind them. I've never been to jail, but I hear the doors are heavy. Door slams behind them. They actually get more tough. They sit in an interrogation like, what? I'm not gonna tell you nothing. You want something out of me? You got the wrong one. Okay? And then there's other people, that door slams, and as soon as it slams, they're like, listen, I wasn't there, all right? It was Robert. It was Terry, Robert and Terry. It was their plan anyway. If anything, I'm an innocent bystander. I was just in the car. Y'all know when y'all arrested us, I was in the back seat. That's for a reason. I wasn't even the getaway driver. I thought we were going to McDonald's. Like, just, there are some people who snitch so fast. Even the police can't write it down fast enough. Police are like, well, we got it on tape too, but yeah, this is too fast for the shorthand. Imagine you snitch so fast you make a cop go, hold on. Take a breath. Because you never know who it's going to be. There are some people who were, you know, whether it was gang activity, it's mob activity, there are people who were like the run of the litter, and they're the ones that actually hold out. They're like, I'm not telling you anything. I don't even think you have enough on me. Let's play. Let's roll the dice. And then there are people, no matter how tatted up, no matter how affiliated, it might even run in the family. They might be somebody who is third generation, but they don't want to be in prison. They don't want to be in jail. And so as soon as they have the opportunity, they tell them everything. Things they didn't even ask. You see a lot of it, you know? Then you have people who at first don't tell. Then they're ready to talk after like a couple years. You know what I mean? After a couple years, you know, have enough mold on your sandwich that you're like, it's really not worth it. Like, nobody coming to visit me. Like, no. That's what makes me wonder what must be going through Ghislaine Maxwell's mind. You know what I mean? Look, I'm no legal expert, but I do find it wild that in this supposed cabal, this supposed billionaire ring of predators, that the only one you caught is the one you ready to make a deal with. And a deal for what? You know what I mean? Exposing more names? Bringing other people down? Probably not. Probably just being bribed to not say the president's name. You know? And look, I could be wrong. I don't think I am. Because you've already seen Trump float the idea of pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell. We even know from old tapes they thought about pardoning her way back when she got sentenced. You know? And yeah, no, I agree. I'm not a fan of it. She's not here. I'm not a fan. The boo. this is somebody's essence being booed. Like this. No, it is genuinely insane what's happening because, Trump floated the pardon. He even was asked by the press if he would pardon Ghislaine Maxwell, and he goes, look, I could, but let's not talk about it right now. What an insane thing to say. You got asked a yes or no question, and you somehow answered worse than yes or no. I've never been doing a test and got a true false and put maybe. I don't know, you the teacher, you tell me. That's insane. Already floated a pardon in front of us. Maybe to gauge our reaction. Maybe if there's not enough outrage, the pardon will go ahead. And then DOJ goes, have a conversation with Ghislaine Maxwell. And already, I think it was today, just today, she's been moved from the prison and she was in to a minimum security facility somewhere else. Thought we covered this. I too hope she can feel your booze. I hope booze work like laxatives, Ghislaine Maxwell just sitting in jail right now. Booze don't travel that fast, and so it comes in waves out of nowhere. She's having a conversation. Oh yeah, Trump and Epstein were there. Ooh. That's my hope. No idea if that's the case. But, you see this sort of thing happening. It feels insane. It feels insane to watch in real time. This is the only person, the one person that got caught, the one person that's being held accountable. And everybody's so obsessed with the idea of a list or more people or whoever they want to be on the list being on the list that they forget that there were real people that deserve justice. And the idea that the only person that we've so far got might go free is unacceptable, Because you see Trump floating, pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell, and I can't imagine what it must be like to be a Trump aide. Your nose must bleed every day. It's I'm thinking of pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell, and the aide is like, what? I asked you what you want for breakfast. If anything, I think I am a little bit, I'm trying to figure out how to put this. I feel sorry for my friends who didn't see it coming because they still believed in a system, and they still believed in laws, and they believed that jail existed for a reason, and I am, I'm black. So I kind of saw a good portion of this coming. It's anyone who's genuinely shocked that Ghislaine Maxwell might get a pardon and that she's already been moved to a minimum security prison after being convicted, but then talking to the DOJ under new light. Anyone who's surprised by that has never watched the first 48 before. And they think that people aren't going to see through it. This is a lot like when you're in school and you didn't do your homework, but you remembered there was homework right as the teacher says, pass up the homework. And so you fighting. You've never worked a pencil harder. You fighting to get words on a page. It doesn't even make sense what you're saying. You going over the whole scarlet letter as fast as you can. And then you pass it up. Teacher collects all the papers, and you think, maybe I got away with it. All we had to do was 300 words summarized in the last chapter of Scarlet Letter. I think I did it. Pulled it off. Felt like 300. Might have been 290. And then class is going on. Maybe you have to read while the teacher grades the homework, and then teacher says your name. Calls you up to the front. You're like, okay, don't panic. Maybe I did a good job so fast she's impressed. That's a possibility. And then you walk up to the front, and the teacher's like, did you do this just now? And you don't know what to do. You're caught. You're caught. She caught you. But there's another part of you that's like, maybe if I die with the lie, she'll believe me. What? Just now? No, I did this at home. And she's like, you sure? You're like, uh-oh, she's on to me. Yes, I did this at home. And then she was like, oh, okay, great. That's good news. I was worried that you did it just now, which means you wouldn't have your math homework. And then you remember that this has been math class the entire time. That at least feels like what Trump is going through. Because if Trump was smart, he would have done all this stuff a long time ago when it could have maybe still been believable. But now, everybody sees through it. Oh, it's crazy. It's so crazy. And then, on top of that, this is already insane enough. Already, there's so many ties to Donald Trump, Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein, that even a pardon just feels like it would be happening in our faces, right? There's no misunderstanding about the conflict of interest. There's no misunderstanding about what her role is if she does testify in front of Congress or whoever. And there's no misunderstanding about what the quid pro quo is between the two of them. You know what I mean? And even in that moment, on top of all that, Donald Trump floats pardoning Diddy. And it's like, that one doesn't even have anything to do with you. I don't think. Don't you have enough to deal with? That's crazy. As someone who is not in jail, I'm sweating about everybody who's about to be out of jail. This is insane. So then already the public, especially by the media, somewhat, somewhat potentially unintentional, but the media did a disservice to the public when it came to Diddy's trial, because there's a lot that we know of Diddy. There's a lot that we know that he did, that he's alleged to have done. And I think that the state put forward a remarkably bad case to try to lock Diddy up, because I think from the public's view, they see the trial and you see it through the lens that the media is selling. The media wants you to keep watching, they want you to tune in every day, and so they make it look like he's about to do 10,000 years, right? They really hype this thing up. They never really mention that all the while the trial is going on, pieces are getting dropped. Left and right, charges are getting dropped. There's things that the state is focusing on. There's things that the state is dropping. There's things that we understand that Diddy is at least allegedly done from all the documentaries that came out. You would think that Diddy was 16 OJs, the way that he had documentaries coming out about him every month. Everything Diddy ever did to anybody, they got their own documentary on Tubi, on HBO, on Hulu. Everywhere. Oh, he hung me out of a window. Like just nonstop stories, right? But it's important to remember what he's being charged with and what he's on trial for. So then things would even come up during the trial. Things that are illegal, that they were just talking about plainly, all to get to the thing he's actually being charged with. So as bad as this testimony sounds, and as many things that are going on, you have to remember these are not the things he's being charged with. And I think that media got carried away. I think the news got carried away because they finally had something juicy, something big, something that they knew was going to last for days, weeks, months, that wasn't the same old stuff. Something that had a bunch of intrigue in it. Apparently there's all these tapes. Apparently he has all this blackmail on all of Hollywood. There's all these things that were supposed to be coming out during the trial, you know? And then the state supposedly makes their case. They read out the verdict. Everyone is sure that this man is about to do 10 million years. And then they read the first one, not guilty. And they start reading them, and there's 5 charges, and 3 of them not guilty. The 3 that carried the most weight, the 3 that had like a minimum 15, 20 years, you know? And then there's 2 misdemeanors. Those 2 misdemeanors he is found guilty of. The people are perplexed. How is he found guilty of these things that are at least tangentially related to the other charges that he hasn't been found guilty for? What's happening, right? And those charges, the things that he was convicted of, they don't carry some mandatory minimum. You know, he could get time served. He could get up to 10 years. He could still do 20 years. But it's not likely that he'll do 20 years because that is the most extreme of cases where you give people the maximum. And I even rewatched a little bit of the reading of the verdict, and I just thought to myself, could get time served. Why would you bother pardoning him? Like, he might already be walking out of jail that day. That's such a crazy thing to do. You don't have enough going on with everybody thinking you were like on an island 152 times or whatever. To be a Trump aide, you must need heart medication, because they already try to convince him, look, that looks bad if you just pardon Ghislaine out of nowhere after all this time and everything, after everything she knows and the pictures that y'all are in together, all the pictures that you're 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 in together, the other pictures that you're in together, the pictures that you're in together, all of the pictures that you're in together, plus, she did have 19 phone numbers for you. That's not a good look either. And then Trump says, I see what you're saying. I understand. All right, look, what we're going to do, we do best. All right, gonna run a little interference. We're gonna run a little distraction, okay? And we're also gonna pardon Sean Diddy Combs at the same time. Karen, press secretary, must be fighting demons. I can't imagine. Look, everyone, whether it's Kellyanne Conway, it's Sean Spicer, anyone who has had to represent the Trump administration, go out to the press and answer questions. Look, I understand they chose that job. I understand that they chose to be there. But to a degree, you do have to wonder what the conversation is like before they go out. When they get handed a binder, and at the last second, one of the aides says, and he gonna pardon Diddy. So, no matter who it was, whether it was Sarah Huckabee Sanders, anyone who has represented the administration on the news or in the press room or anything like that, there's at least been 1 or 2 days where they had a 1,000-yard stare because they were like, how am I gonna pull this together? Because look, things came out during Diddy's trial, things that made you think, of course, this jury is gonna find this man guilty. They have to. Look at everything that they've heard, but you gotta remember the things he was on trial for and the things that they heard didn't always line up. There was one day of testimony that truly blew me away in that case, and that's hard to say because plenty of those days were rough to listen to. But there is one day in particular that has stuck with me in a different way than the other days. It was the day that Kid Cudi testified. Now, famously, still somehow allegedly, Diddy supposedly blew up Kid Cudi's car. You're bringing the man who has his car blown up to testify. You would think that that'd be one of the charges. I've never blown up a car in my life. But if I was brought to court to sit and hear testimony of my crimes, I would imagine the car blowing up would be one of them listed. Anyway, they bring in Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi's testifying about the timeline when he dated Cassie, things that happened between him and Diddy. And then he describes a day that is truly harrowing. Kid Cudi is testifying that while he was gone, he was actually, I believe, spending some time with Cassie, that Diddy hears about the relationship, is very upset about it, and Diddy went to and broke into Kid Cudi's house, right? So already, Diddy in your home, that's terrifying. Diddy in your home is the devil's version of Elf on the Shelf. You don't know what he gonna do. You don't know where he gonna be. Oof. So Diddy was in his home. Now, I'm a little fuzzy on this part, but apparently, I believe at least, that it was Diddy's assistant that called Kid Cudi to let him know, hey, okay, ooh, how do I tell you this? There's no good way. Diddy in your house. He is all up in your house. I mean, I drove him. He made me. He's like, where you live? And I was like, and we went over to your house. And so he's in your house. I'm not now. I'm outside. You know, he told me to wait here. I don't know what he gonna do. And so, you know, Kid Cudi rushes home. And not only is he rushing home, he actually, this is at least as I understand it, must have Diddy's number because they had a conversation. And he was like, yo, you in my house? You in my house? Bass in voice, ready to beat somebody down. You in my house? And apparently, Diddy very calmly said, yeah. Kid Cudi better than me. If it was me, I wouldn't have a home anymore. If it was me, I'd be like, all right, then you got it. Then that's, I mean, if you're already there. Someone breaking and entering into your home and then calmly telling you they broke and entered into your home is more terrifying than I think y'all are giving it credit for. Because then Cuddy, apparently, according to testimony, was like, I'm headed there right now, like ready to really beat this dude down, right? And then Diddy said, okay, I'll be waiting for you. I wasn't in court. I had to read all this, and I haven't read a novel by Stephen King scarier than what I read between the two of them. Kid Cudi gets home, Diddy's gone. He walks into the house. Now, that's braver than me. I would assume he's already planted a bomb somewhere. But Kid Cudi walks into the house, is looking around, assessing the damage, and while Diddy was there, he put Kid Cudi's dog in the bathroom, then opened all his Christmas presents and left. That is so insane. We are dealing with pure evil. That is so insane. Open all his Christmas presents. How is he all at once one of the most menacing figures that hip hop has ever seen and a third grade bully? How is it possible that both of these characters hold the same space in the same body? Because that is so particularly evil. He said, I walked over, Christmas presents unwrapped. I opened the bathroom door, my dog confused. And why wouldn't the dog be confused? Let's, for a moment, if you will, put yourself in the dog's paws, all right? You're a dog. You're a dog. You're a dog. And you're at home, chilling, as you should be. And then the door opens. Oh, Papa? No, it's not. It's not the owner that you love. It's Sean Diddy Combs. I don't know what type of dog Cudi has. I don't know if it's a Scooby-Doo type dog, but I imagine any dog would be like, ready? And then Diddy walks over to you confidently, like he knows you. And then he puts you in the bathroom and you're like, okay, I guess that's the best possible outcome. Oh, wow, okay, oof. I thought something way worse was gonna happen. I'm not gonna lie to you. Wow, that's great. From what I've heard about you, the bathroom, man, I don't love it in here, but it's better than whatever you're about to do. And then Sean Diddy Combs opens all the Christmas presents and goes, well, my work is done here, and exits. This is how evil what he did is. He already messed up the call to the police. Because now you're going to call the police and have to explain to the police that the only thing that Diddy stole from you was wonder. Imagine that call to the police. You gotta call the police and tell them that Diddy, and the police are asking you very reasonable questions. They're over here like, is he still in the home? I don't know. Hopefully that would make this whole thing a bit more serious. Right now he's left it at hilarious, which is a sick thing to do. No, it's truly insane. Not even destroyed, unwrapped. I can't leave this alone until y'all recognize how dirty this is. Imagine. Lots of people here celebrate Christmas. Lots of people exchange Christmas gifts. Imagine if you came home and there just wasn't paper. And now everybody in the family either like happy or disappointed, or like, oh, you got me the Theragun that all right, we're like a couple months out, so can I have it now, I guess? Truly an evil man. And Trump is floating, pardoning Diddy. Even before, this was odd, even before this Epstein stuff popped up, Trump had floated the idea of pardoning Diddy mid-trial. And I was like, I didn't know they went together like that. That's weird. Imagine being a white man in your 80s and your favorite rapper is Diddy. No Raekwon, no Rakim, no Run DMC, Diddy. Okay. And even then he had floated the idea of pardoning Diddy. And who knows, maybe something happened. Maybe some money exchanged hands. Maybe somebody said something to somebody and started it in motion and everything. But I can tell you this, justice system aside, the only person working hard to make sure that Diddy doesn't get a pardon, it isn't the state. No. It's not like the DA or the lead prosecutor or anything like that. The person working their hardest to make sure that Diddy does not get a pardon, that he doesn't get released back into society, is 50 Cent. 50 Cent was so excited when Diddy was arrested. There's a video. You could watch the video. It's about 8 seconds long, but it's very, very funny. And it is 50 Cent laughing in the car when I guess he heard the news that Diddy had been arrested. And this man is chuckling. The joy on this man's face. And then he's chuckling to himself and he goes, he gonna spend Christmas in jail. I've never hated anybody that much. That's so good. Oh, he gonna spend Christmas in jail. He was laughing hard. He was laughing the way that sitcoms used to make people laugh. Like, just, Christmas in jail. And so when 50 Cent heard that Donald Trump was floating pardon for Diddy, he went to work. He did what he does best. He trolled. 50 Cent just started posting everything bad that Diddy ever said about Donald Trump and tagging Donald Trump. This man went, is this your friend? I wouldn't do that if I was you, Mr. President. You won't believe what he said about you. Oh, no. No. No, Donald Trump, this is not one of your African Americans, okay? It's been tough. I've been trying to find, like, really, whether I'm reading or I'm watching, I've been trying to find pretty much any news story that isn't about Trump and Epstein, you know? And I came across one that genuinely shocked me in Florida. They, yeah. In Florida, the Tallahassee police arrested Chuck E. Cheese at Chuck E. Cheese. Apparently, Chucky had done some wire fraud. And so the Tallahassee police showed up to the Chuck E. Cheese. And they were ready to take him in, all right? Cuffs already out. And they arrested Chucky mid-birthday party. You couldn't wait an hour and a half? You know where he is. It's not like he's gonna get far in the costume. They arrested Chucky. Those poor kids. Imagine. Picture, if you will, being 6 years old, and you're having a birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese because the economy is not doing great. But you're having a good time, you're enjoying it, you're like, cheese pizza, so they say. Delicious yum, right? You're just trying to put on a good face. You jump into the ball pit that is not nearly deep enough. The ball pit that is full of children under the balls because every kid thought it was the funniest thing in the world to pop up out of the balls, but that meant that the ball pit was actually a hard surface because it's made of bodies. You jump into the ball pit doing like a big old face plant thinking you're gonna slide down into the balls, and you just bang heads with another child. You get out of the ball pit concussed. Chucky offers you a flat Diet Coke. Look, there's a hierarchy to costumed mascots. Now, the most athletic are gonna go to teams. You ever been to a sports game and you see their mascot stretches before, they doing wild moves like You go to Disney, there's a lot of walking, but it's a lot of poise. It's a lot of like the stances, you know. You get somebody that's doing goofy, and they're really doing goofy. They got them, you know what I mean? Chucky. Chucky, as far as like costumed mascots go, Chucky doing a lot of the same. Trying to figure out how to put this. Chucky, the qualifications to be Chucky at Chuck E. Cheese are a lot like the qualifications to work at a Waffle House, okay? You're gonna get in the costume, they're gonna tell you, do your best, all right? Do your absolute best, and if somebody's swinging you, you can swing back after they hit you the first time. You gotta let him get that first hit in. If you hit first, that's assault, all right? And you'll be fired. But look, if they put hands on you first, then hey, you gotta get it how you live and go ahead and swing on them. So imagine you're surprised when at your 6th-year birthday party, you're celebrating 6 years on this planet, and it hasn't been a great 6. You're a little too young to like remember COVID, but you know mom and dad are weird. You're clapping with your friends. And Chucky's doing his thing, trying to like find the beat. And you're like, I think he doing something. I can't tell. And then the Tallahassee police walk in. And they cuff Chucky right there in front of you for wire fraud. Y'all couldn't wait. You know where he works. He wasn't gonna get away. No, we gotta cuff him right now in front of the children. Traumatize them. Nah, forget these kids. We gotta dish out justice real quick. Now the kids distraught. They over here. You know that? Okay, all right. I'm sorry. It's funny because it's like I can see the kids being like, what do you do? What do you do? You know that rumble in the throat when you really cry? There's a certain way you can cry when you're 6 that you never cry again. Like, this is like honestly, a 6-year-old will drop an ice cream and they'll be like, just mixing Disney voices, half Ursula, half Jafar. What do you do? Let him go, he ain't did nothing. Kids out here vouching for, he was here the whole time. Because you know that. You know, like when a kid cry long enough, they start coughing. When a kid get real upset and they full of mediocre pizza. Yo, free Chucky! Yo, free Chucky! Oh. Now you getting arrested at Chuck E. Cheese, they perp walking you slow just to embarrass you. Y'all really couldn't wait till he got out the costume too, because you know he can't walk fast with those feet. He still got the costume feet on and everything. So now they over here. They get Chucky outside, slam him up against that car. patting Chucky down. Why you need to pat Chucky down? That would be wild though. Chucky had like a full-on Glock on him, like that would be crazy. If Chucky he doesn't care where he is. He could be at Chuck E. Cheese. He could be at the streets. He keep that thing on him. The thing that I think would have been probably the toughest for the police, because I personally read about this. I didn't see video, so I don't know if this happened or not. But it would be hard. It'd be very difficult to, open up that car door. And when they walked him out, they did it in full costume. Like the head was still on. Like, that's crazy. This is a personal vendetta now that you have with Charles Entertainment Cheese. That you couldn't at least take the head off in Chuck E. Cheese. Imagine they take the head off. I mean, I'm sure the kids would have been more upset. Chucky Black! I could have sworn. Anyway. Look, there's not full video that I saw. This is all what I've read, but it's gonna be hard to put your hand on the back of Chucky's head and get him in the car without it looking like police brutality. Because it's not gonna fit. The head is too big. So now you over here, watch your head. Kids at the glass of the door. You know how Chuck E. Cheese built. They at the glass like, no! They beating up Chucky. Police like, no, I'm trying to get the head in. No, he won't fit. He can't even feel it like that. No, don't do that. Everybody start recording. Look what they doing to Chucky, y'all. And they take you down to the police station. Perp walking you. Downtown. Imagine if you got arrested that day. For possession of illicit substances. It could be anything. It could be acid, it could be shrooms, it could be anything. And you got arrested for possession. You're not a dealer. They caught you doing essentially a victimless crime, trying to enjoy yourself, enjoy your Saturday. Maybe you don't have your life together. Maybe you're not invited to your kid's birthday party. You get arrested, you're sitting downtown, waiting to be processed, and then Ayo. I know I got a right to remain silent. I know this may hurt me in court. But did a giant mouse just walk through here fully arrested? Oh, thank goodness. I thought I was still very high from drugs. It's insanity. You know what I mean? Now you gotta do everything. How you gonna take Chucky fingerprints? These aren't even functional. I don't know if they feet or hands, but they're not. mug shot too. Those mug shots are cold. They're just like, ready, face me. Turn. Turn. No. Now you gotta sit in holding. Imagine, all you did was get a little drunk. Maybe get into a fight at a bar, you sitting in the drunk tank, and the only other is Chucky a person? Nobody else in there but you and Chuck E. Cheese. And whether it's jail or a birthday, they never really gave, at least that I know of, Chucky a voice. Chucky was always silent. At every birthday party I had at Chuck E. Cheese, Chucky was silent. You know, do the... Imagine you sitting there with Chuck E. Cheese in jail. You're wondering how your life took this turn. You look over at Chucky, and Chucky mad. Chucky like, you know, I thought I had that wire fraud on lock. I'm wondering who snitched. I'm wondering what went wrong, yeah? You look over at Chucky, and Chucky's like, what you looking at, dog? You got a problem? But all you see is... Yo, you want step? I'm just saying that in this like kangaroo circus of a court and justice system where we know the government is playing in our face, playing with really dangerous people who have done terrible things. If you're gonna pardon Ghislaine Maxwell, if you're gonna pardon Diddy, then at least yo, free Chucky, all right? Denver, y'all been phenomenal. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all.
When I